Stating that Alabama has recruited well under Nick Saban is probably something that goes without saying at this point. However, today we need to take a look at the insane speed Alabama was able to add into the wide receiver room, something Saban and company have been preaching for quite some time. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, Y for yes, N for no. Are you excited about the current bunch of wide receivers set to join the Crimson Tide from this latest recruiting class? And let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoy this content, like and comment down below. Those interactions are massive to content creators such as myself in both getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But having said all of that, we need to break this down because, as many of you know, the wide receiver room for the Crimson Tide is one that I am very intrigued about. I think there's a whole lot of talent in that room, even absent the guys that will be coming in from this latest recruiting class. Whether we're talking Tyu Jones-Bell, Trayshawn Holden, Ajayi Hall, Ja'Cory Brooks, Christian Leary, JoJo Earl, there is so much talent in that wide receiver room. But whenever we look at this current group that is coming in from the 22 cycle, this group has got speed. And I don't mean just regular football speed. These dudes have certified track speed. And I bring this to your attention because this is something Nick Saban has been talking about. And in fact, if we rewind about a year ago to this time, this is what Saban was preaching that the Crimson Tide needed in order to maximize the effectiveness of this offense. Then the Crimson Tide were able to go out and get Jamison Williams, and the rest is history, with Williams accounting for over 1,500 yards and having a monstrous season before his unfortunate injury in the national championship game. But if we're talking about speed, well, that's something these guys in the 22 cycle have in bunches. And we can start out with Aaron Anderson, the 5-star wide receiver that Alabama was able to flip from LSU to the Crimson Tide. Now, Aaron Anderson is somebody that could be a demon in the slot position, being an ultimate mismatch, but he also has a ton of speed. It's not just burst. He's been able to record a 10.7 700-meter dash, as well as several other sub-11 second 100-meter dashes, showing that he's got long speed, he's got burst, he's got moves. This is a dude that rose up the recruiting rankings for a reason and showed out at the All-American game. Aaron Anderson is someone I think Tide fans need to be very excited that Nick Saban was able to flip from LSU. Nick Saban has been unbelievable at being able to go into Louisiana, pinpoint recruits that he likes, and win those battles. So Aaron Anderson is a big addition. But then there's also Shaz Preston, and though I couldn't find anything about a 100-meter dash time for him, if you watch Shaz Preston's film, there is so much to be excited about. The use of physicality, the use of his body is very elite for someone coming out of high school. And then you're even talking about speed, to which he recorded a 22-second 200-meter dash. So yeah, this dude is another one who has track speed as well, and he has it in a 6-foot package. So Shaz Preston was a major win for Alabama. But we can even go further with Isaiah Bond, who recorded a 10.48 100-meter dash. And Isaiah Bond is somebody that showed out during the All-American game and was flat out making defenders look like they were jogging while he was sprinting. He's got that type of speed. Bond has got home run speed, and that's the type of speed that you must account for no matter where he is on the field, whether that be special teams or straight up on offense. If you see him on the field, you need to have an understanding that if he gets the ball, it could go all the way. He has that type of speed. But Kendrick Law is another one. The athlete coming from Louisiana also recorded a 10.48 100-meter dash. Now, Kendrick Law is someone who could play defense. He could play offense, but if he is to play offense, what an upside he possesses and speed that just cannot be taught. Running a 10.48 100-meter dash is blazing fast, something that the Crimson Tide will absolutely look to utilize. Then we can move forward, though, with Kobe Prentice, who also has a 10.8 400-meter dash, several other sub-11 100-meter dashes, and had a major senior season that saw him rise up recruiting boards. Kobe Prentice is a name we need to keep an eye out on because his route running is very good for where he is coming out of high school. It's only going to continue to get better It's only going to continue getting better once he gets to the collegiate level. This is someone that could be a really intriguing playmaker sooner rather than later. And whenever we look at this in its entirety, you see that your 22 wide receivers can flat out fly. Whether we're talking Shaz Preston with a 22-second 200-meter dash, or Kobe Prentice with a 10.84, Aaron Anderson with a 10.77, and Isaiah Bond and Kendrick Law recording 10.48 100-meter dashes. That's the type of speed that you just can't teach. That's the type of speed that Nick Saban was preaching about last offseason. And now I want you to complete the picture. You have all this speed we've just talked about in the class of 2022, and now you can mix it with Ja'Cory Brooks, Trayshawn Holden, Ajayi Hall, Tyu Jones-Bell, Christian Leary, JoJo Earl, and Bryce Young is the quarterback, who's the best quarterback in the nation coming back, who is the odds-on Heisman favorite. Way too early to be talking about that. Agreed, but it is something that has gotten out there, and it's deserved that he is the Heisman favorite at this point. When you look at all the offensive weapons Alabama has together, it really points to the offensive line as the group that's going to be the catalyst. If that offensive line comes together, this Tide offense has got weapons in troves, and the 22 wide receiver class is only going to add into that with unbelievable and elite speed. But I'm really interested in hearing from y'all. There are several great wide receivers for the Crimson Tide, but I'm interested. Who do you think is going to be the guy next year, both overall, and who do you think is going to be the guy in the class of 2022? Can't wait to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.